Welcome back, everybody, to the latest edition of the Riverfront Red Show, or as everybody likes to say, the most dangerous podcast, the Riverfront Red Show. I'm your host tonight, Skylar Wuebker, as Seth is away on vacation, enjoying the beach time with his family. And tonight, I had to drag in the old faithful, the founding father, one of the founding fathers here, Tim Daniels. Tim, how are you doing?
You said Daniels again. We've been doing shows together for a
I
year.
always do this.
It even says it on the screen here. It says Daniel. We've been working together for a year, and I don't understand.
My face, if you're listening, my face is as red as the Cincinnati Reds uniforms right
now. I'm just giving you a hard time. I'm good, buddy. Thanks for bringing me on. I'm happy to be here. It's always fun to come back.
It's good. It's good to have you. I know you're over at the other network, kind of doing in your immediate post-game reactions every game. I thought this would be a good opportunity to kind of get you out of that immediacy. Every game has this vigor in it to kind of see a grander picture, talk over where we are in the year, and we can go through some updates on the team. There's some injury updates that we can go through. And then we have a nice little sack of viewer mail to get into.
Cool. I'm all for it. Let's do it.
Awesome. So here we are above 500, which if you've been following this team for any decade besides 1995, they're never at 500 in this point of the season. They've always, my entire life, they've been, 6 games under, kind of fighting to get to 500. Boy, after a great series against the Diamondbacks and a great series against the Guardians, they feel like an actual baseball team right now.
Yeah, man, they've been fun to watch. It seems like offensively things are finally kind of clicking on all cylinders, and I think that's just kind of been the thing we've been waiting on. Now, obviously, getting guys back helps that. And CES has been really good since he came back. And you see Tyler Stevenson's kind of finding his stride. Spencer Steer's been up and down. Ellie's been really, really consistent of late. And then Matt McLean, though he's not getting the consistency we are hoping for, it seems like when he is getting hits, it seems like it's when they matter the most. So I think I feel really good about where they're at. There's still some things I want to see get better. Like anytime that someone not named Santiago Espinal is heading in number 2 overall in the number 2 spot, I'm happy. But what they're getting from guys like Gavin Lux has been so beneficial for this team. It's just been a really nice stretch. And, with the stretch of games they're in, the opponents they're playing, where they're playing a ton of teams with like kind of where they are, either like within 500, like within shouting range of 500 or significantly above 500. So kind of keeping it going is pretty solid until they get to, that Colorado Miami homestand right for the All-Star break.
Yeah. You mentioned that they're in probably I would say one of the toughest parts of their schedule. I think this is kind of the first test against actually competitive teams. Like you said, in the 500 range, above 500, everybody's kind of eyeing playoff positioning or that wild card positioning. All of these teams that they're facing are either the AL or NL wild card teams. So to be above 500, see things working well. The pitching has been fantastic this year. I mean, credit Andrew Abbott for getting your first Maddox the other night. That was incredible to watch.
That was awesome.
Although when Santana hit that ball in the 9th, my heart fell through my butt.
What was the camera guy doing there? Just trying to like get us all scared. Like
when they go to that wide angle, you're like, oh no.
Mm-hmm.
But the pitching has been great. The offense inconsistent, but I think as we get guys healthy, and I know that's what everybody's going to say is like, oh, we need health. We need health. But when you have guys in the lineup that deserve major league starting roles and that are not named Garrett Hampson or Connor Joe, you have a better team. We even saw Santiago Espinal really struggling and running out of gas because he's getting ran out there every single day when he's never been a everyday player. He's always been kind of an off the bench guy, rally guy. And as soon as he got some time to breathe, he started producing again because of, not having to press and push every single at bat. So as we get guys like CES back, as we get, we have two injury updates for Noel V. Marte and Austin Hayes. Once we start getting some of these guys back, you really feel good about this lineup. If they can, honestly, just be a major league player. I don't even need all stars. I just need major league players around Ellie.
Yeah, I mean, right now you probably have a case for 3 guys in the lineup. Probably have good all-star cases. I don't know if Jose Trevino will make it, but he certainly has an argument. And then, of course, Friedel and Ellie have been everything you could ask for them and more. Especially Ellie, since the calendar turned to June, has been awesome. His last 15 games, he's been on fire. But with what you're getting from TJ Friedel, and I'm guilty of this, I'm very guilty of this. During my last stretch with the Riverfront, I flat out questioned, will we see 2023 TJ Friedel again, or will we get what we got in 2024 when he was battling injury? Was 2023 an outlier? And now, do I still think he's extremely close to what he's going to be in his ceiling? Yes. I don't know how much better he's going to get. But what they're getting from him right now is certainly an all-star caliber center fielder. And potentially I'd have to look through all of baseball for sure, but you can make the case probably the best leadoff hitter, at least in the National League right now.
Absolutely. And if this is TJ Friedel's ceiling, that's okay.
Yeah, cash in.
Exactly. That is, be that guy, be the best leadoff hitter in the league, be a great defensive outfielder, be threatening on the base paths, put bunts down. I mean, if this is the ceiling, that's fine. I don't need Hall of Famer, but we've gone years and years and years and years and years of not even MLB level players on this team. So to have TJ Friedel, who is an MLB level player, that's refreshing and that's good. And I want more of those on my team.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I think what they're getting from right now from the top of the order has been unbelievable. And I mean, Gavin Lux too, what he's brought to the team has been such a nice trade piece. It's nice to see. I don't think they're too far away. I think that there's obviously a lot of work to do. I mean, yeah, everyone's kind of talking now with this recent stretch, like, yeah, they're 3.5 out of the wild card. That's great. But they're 7.5 out of the division. So that's a big stretch. So it's going to take one of those nice hefty 12-game win streaks or something like that, maybe to get back in play. It's going to be, I'm really curious to see if they're capable of that. I don't know if they are, but right now I'm really happy with how they're playing. And I think that, getting to turn the mic on and talk about them every day is fun. Even yesterday, they get beat 11-2. Nick Lodolo looks very difficult. And I still am like, all right, whatever. I mean, they played really well for a week there, and I still got Ellie and Friedel home runs I can discuss. So we figured out. Not really going to go in there and analyze Joe LaSorsa's 4-run inning when he was getting sent, when he knew he was probably getting sent back down to Louisville right after the game.
Yeah. And we can touch on the Lodolo piece because I put it on the Late Night Reds show and in our Slack org, but I'm in the camp of trading Nick Lodolo, and we can get into some of the pieces that you could probably net for him and some of the reasons why. But before we do, we can go into kind of the injury updates, because I think that plays, especially as we finish out this first rough stretch of the schedule. So they put out there that Noel V. Marte will begin could be eligible to begin rehab assignment as the 20th. So that's, as of this recording, about a week away. He could go out on rehab assignment, which is good news because he was hitting the cover off the ball before he went down. And I still have a lot of high hopes for the guy. Me too. You could tell after the PED suspension, he was really pressing. He was really trying way too much and trying to do too much. And just, you could tell that really, really put him down a few pegs, especially maybe confidence wise and everything like that. So to see him come in this season and produce was awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. So, it certainly makes third base a lot more interesting with what they're getting from CES right now as well. And then Spencer Steer there. So not a bad problem to have by any means. Lineup flexibility is a good thing. And especially with having a DH in the National League now, what you're getting from the DH spot from Stevenson when Trevino's catch out there and so forth. So it's going to would be one of the things. I'm sure it's one of those things like always where it'll take care of itself, but they can get him back and, have him do a rehab for a little while and get him back a little bit after the All-Star break. I think you got to feel pretty good about that. So,
yeah, I think so. And you hope he doesn't flounder when he comes back, because with the wavering of confidence that we saw, I hope it doesn't he hits the skids or hits the first rough patch and flounders for the rest of the season. But outside of him, the other update was Austin Hayes, who has resumed baseball activity, moving around. Tito said his foot isn't 100% yet, but he's doing base running, he's doing drills, he's hitting, and those are all great signs. And you hope that you get him back sooner than the All-Star break, because he's hitting over 300 this season. He's been fantastic for the Reds. He's been the lottery ticket of the offseason.
For sure.
You really hope you get that back just to have even more protection in this lineup.
Man, yeah, absolutely. I mean, just another guy you can kind of put around Ellie to kind of make things a little easier, how he's going to be approached by pitchers. Certainly kind of makes a whole lot of difference, especially with the counter outfield. You see less Connor Joes and Garrett Hampsons at that point, which is the goal at this point, I'm sure. Man, Connor Joe and Garrett Hampson play Major League Baseball for the Cincinnati Reds, who are above 500 and within striking distance of potentially having a postseason spot. That's a paragraph right there.
That sounds like a haiku.
Yeah. But yeah, with that being said, obviously we saw what he was doing when he was on the field, and when he is on the field, he's been really great for this team. But I don't feel like it's someone you can really invest in long term for this situation, because he's now been on the IL 3 times this year.
Yeah,
and it's the second week of June.
Yeah, 3 IL stints to start the year, not great. And the fact that his contract is just a flat 1 year, no team option, no mutual option, no nothing. So he's a rental. I mean, at all ends, he's a rental. He might be something you can flip later down the line. But you'd like to enjoy him while you have him, because he has been, probably the second best production on this team, even with 3 IL stints.
Yeah, let's see. What's his OPS plus at now? Let me bring up the old baseball reference page. My favorite website in the universe.
While you have that pulled up, I know that we're in this kind of stretch right now. We're getting ready for a series against the Tigers. We're getting ready for after that series against the Twins, and all great teams. But I would argue that this is the second hardest part of their schedule.
Yeah, where are you kind of thinking they go from here?
So the part that I think this season becomes make and break is if you peek ahead to August. That is a month full of kind of must-win games for the Reds. They start the month with Atlanta, who hopefully will be out of it in sellers by then.
Oh, that's Bristol.
Yeah, that's the Bristol ones. Then you have the Cubs, Pirates, Phillies, Brewers, Diamondbacks, Dodgers, Cardinals.
So I found it. So OPS plus, for those who don't know, it starts at 100 and moves up or down from there. 100 is like league average player. Austin Hayes right now, his OPS plus is 141.
So he's 41% better than a league average player, given 3 IL stints.
Yeah, and then TJ Friedel's 124, Jose Trevino 121, and then Ellie De La Cruz and Will Benson both 116. But they're all trailing one particular guy, Skylar, on the Reds roster for OPS plus. Can you guess who it is?
It's got to be CES with the one hot week in the league.
Nope.
Really?
Now Oakland, Sacramento, Las Vegas Athletic Austin wins with a 205 OPS plus.
Oof, that's right. That's right. I like how you got to add in the Oakland, Sacramento, Las Vegas, the Tri-City area.
Yeah. I don't think any of those cities are necessarily close to each other either.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
But no, I think this is the second hardest stretch. I mean, this is a prove that you are who you are, I would say. Prove that you're a good team. Prove that you're a fringe wild card team. That's what this stretch of the schedule is. But I think once we get into August, that will determine if this is a playoff team or not. Those are back-to-back-to-back rough series. Not only just because they're good teams, but we've seen the Reds always flounder when it comes to division games.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, so right now the Reds have played 7 series against the National League Central. They are 1-5-1 in those series this season.
Bananas, lunacy. That
it's a big difference.
It's not like. Go ahead.
I mean, it's a big difference right now with where they're sitting because you think about those 2 Cup games they blew in Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
If you hold on to both of those, we're having a much different conversation right now about their standings, their record. The Pirates series in Pittsburgh sucks. They should never lose 2 games out of 3 to the Pirates, especially one of them being 1-0 game. Mm-hmm. And then the St. Louis series, that 4-game set when they had the doubleheader and they got smoked in both those games. I mean, and Milwaukee's just Milwaukee. You know that somehow, some way, their devil magic against you is going to go in their favor. So, yeah, I mean, that's the big difference in the season right now is they can't win these divisional series. If they can start putting those together, we might be looking a little bit higher in August than we are right now.
Exactly, and to have facing all your divisional opponents in August, plus the Diamondbacks, who are a frisky good team. I know we just swept them, but they are a good team.
Yeah.
Plus the Dodgers in there, plus Philly in there. That's a rough month to have any momentum if you can't win your divisional series and really make any progress towards a wild card.
Yeah, 100% agree. Also, trades would be beneficial. Maybe another right-handed outfielder that can hit. I don't know. We said that for 18 years.
Well, I mean, listen, we can get into it when we get into some viewer mail. These are actual. Let me see. These are actual letters sent in by actual fans. This is my water bill, but so we can hop
Chad
on
will be
in.
proud. Chad will be proud that you said that.
So for anybody that doesn't know, these questions come in from our Slack channel. Anybody who joins our Patreon at patreon.com/riverfrontcincy, you get access to our Slack channel, which is the best form of social media. It's just a bunch of fans being fans. We're not political. We're not hurtful. We're not hot take.
I don't know about that part.
Well, we're just some Reds fans that want to talk with other Reds fans. So our first question comes from Sid Price. Sid asks, what are your expectations for this weekend? And have you ever been to Comerica Park?
I have not been. I would love to go. It looks very, very beautiful. I'm really excited for this series. Tigers right now have been the best team in the American League. The Reds also got lucky that the luck of the draw, they don't have to face Casey Mize or Tarek Skubal in this series. So they can at least be competitive. And I mentioned earlier about the fact that the Reds have that those series against the division. The Reds have not been swept this year. So they've either won 1 of 3, 1, 2 of 3, or swept their opponent. They have not been swept. So I can say that they will not get swept in this series and feel confident in saying that. But it's going to be a tough couple games. And, I'm really excited to see how Nick Martinez matches up tomorrow. I don't know if the Tigers, everyone should check the app. They didn't have their rotation out just yet. But it's going to be some tough dudes to get out. Those guys are all hitting pretty well right now. Kerry Carpenter, Riley Green. Javi
Yeah.
Baez has had a little bit of a decent stretch here. Javi Baez, bane of my existence. But it's gonna be a fun series. Really good Tigers team. I'm excited that they're 2 afternoon games, Saturday and Sunday. So
Yes.
I'm done working by 3:00.
Yeah, that's nice, especially Father's Day weekend. Get out there, have some
Yep.
fun. Yeah, I agree. I've never been to Comerica Park, but I would love to go. It looks beautiful. I mean, they have this tiger, the Victorian like tiger statues all over the park. It looks awesome. And I agree. I think this is going to be like one of the most fun series because I think these are two really fun teams. I think like you said, the Tigers have been one of the best teams in the AL this year, and I'm thankful that we miss Mize and Scooble because Scooble looks
Yeah,
unhittable
he's gonna
by
get a Cy Young this year for sure.
oh, absolutely. I mean, he's got I think last time I looked, he had 3 walks on the season, which is crazy to have
Yeah.
3.
His baseball savant page is the most insane looking page I think I've ever seen of a player. It's
I'd
like,
have to
dude, it's nuts.
but I think it's gonna be a good series. I think I agree with you. I don't think the Reds get swept. Um, the Reds seem to always play well against AL teams. They always play well, but they can't beat the Pirates for some reason. It just blows my mind. I think it's gonna be a good series. I'm expecting the Reds to do some things to really keep that offensive momentum going that they saw in the Diamondback series and the Cleveland series. I
Yeah.
really think the offense is really coming around, and I think they have a really good chance. And to your point about Javi Baez, low and away. That's all you got to throw. He'll swing at anything.
Yeah, I just sent you Scooble's savant page just so you can get a kick out of that later.
So much red.
Yeah. Baez turning on 722 OPS. That's not awful, but yeah. So just hope that he continues to not be very good this weekend. Mir Garrett will not be on the mound for the Reds, so you like your chances.
Yeah, you do. And the next question comes from Rex Scott. Rex, I can't find the exact question because it was kind of somewhere else in our Slack channel, but I know what you're talking about. Rex wants to know, like, why are we not the base running supreme team that we were a season ago? We don't have as many stolen bases as even the Cubs or the Brewers. Don't even have, we're not even in that stratosphere. As of right now, we are 9th in the league in stolen bases and 3rd in the league in caught stealing.
Yeah, that's been the thing I've been trying to figure out the most about this team. They've certainly gotten much better as the year's gone on. I will say that. But it did start pretty ugly there at the beginning. A lot of two plans and a lot of things. And I know Ellie got picked the other day at second base, I think in the Arizona series. But that guy, I can't remember who was pitching. I think it might have been Zach Gallen still. That guy just made a hell of a pitch, like a hell of a play to get him there. I'm not even mad about that. But it's certainly something you want to see be better. Yeah, I agree. With the guys they have, I mean, McLean's been perfect for stealing bases this year so far. Like, legitimately has not been caught yet. Friedel's been kind of underrated on it as well. And then, of course, you have the fastest player in baseball. So I feel like the reason they aren't scoring as much is probably a Francona thing. It's probably a coaching staff thing. But the reason that they aren't as successful, I can't tell you.
Yeah, I think part of it is a Francona thing in the sense of not having as many attempts. I think the other part of it is I think there's 3 parts of it for that. There's Terry Francona, who traditionally has just never been a guy that lets guys run all over the field. And the second part, I think you got to have guys on base to steal base, and the Reds struggle to do that.
Yeah, that's a thing.
They struggle a lot to do that, which makes it a lot harder to obviously steal a base. But typically, also when they were getting on base and are getting on base, I feel, and this is no stat behind this right now, but I feel like a lot of times they are doubles in the gap or something like that, and not too many singles out there. And the only person on this team that's stealing third is Ellie.
Yeah. Whoop. My camera went away somewhere. Hold on.
And I think the third piece is that they became the team that was known for stolen bases because obviously you have Ellie De La Cruz. So pitchers and other teams are looking to prevent that. I mean, that was like the only thing the Reds could do last year was run and steal bases. So I think a lot of teams are just more eyeful and more mindful that we can't let the Reds run all over us.
Yeah, I think that's a fair assessment for sure.
Our last question comes from Brandon here. He asks, are there any controllable outfielders on your radar? So, Tim, I got a crazy one for you. My outfielder with control that I have on my radar, it's going to be crazy. So be ready. If the Braves are truly out of it, go get Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, I don't think the Braves are going to do that, even if they are out of it.
I think you got to make them. I mean, look, the guy has 2 more years of control, 3 more years of control with the club option. They obviously, we know what their payroll is. He signed this super team friendly deal way long ago, which was a bad deal when he signed it. But let's say, Nick Lodolo, who struggles at Great American Ballpark because it's an airport out there. Let's say it takes Spencer Steer, Nick Lodolo, Arroyo, and Sal Stewart.
I don't think the Braves are going to do that.
I don't know. I mean, come on. The $17 million, that is a Reds contract right there. $17 million for the next 3 years. Like, that's something that the Reds can afford. You have the players to get it done. And how great would this lineup be with Acuna and Elliott?
I see what you're saying. I do, for sure. I can't see a situation where the Atlanta Braves go, yeah, we're going to trade our best player because it's just not because everything didn't go our favor. I think they're going to try to be good again next year. And they probably don't believe they're out of it now. I know they're 9 games under at the moment, but I still kind of, the way that Atlanta works is very rare. They just destroy it and blow it up. So I would love nothing more than to see Ronald Acuna and Ellie De La Cruz in the same team in Cincinnati. I like where your head's at. I mean, I was going to joke about Mike Trout and you were like, no, this isn't a joke. Man, I don't know. Like, I guess Taylor Ward's one that I've been really interested in for a little while now. Let me see if he's still good. I haven't really paid attention. Yeah, he's still having a decent year. No, not really, actually. He's got 18 homers, but he's got a solid 730 OPS. So I'll be honest with kind of just doing game by game. I haven't done a whole lot of research into what's out there and what isn't, and what the things will look like. I kind of rely on Jeff and Steve for all that. And I just kind of talk about what's going on in the games itself. So I don't know. I know Mike Trout hasn't had a great year, but can't imagine that Anaheim will still want to move on from him, though I probably would.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't if they want to. I'm totally fine. Go and get Mike Trout. I don't think they would. I think they're already kind of getting the backlash for letting Ohtani go. So I don't think they can just morally let that happen. I also pretty much pick an outfielder from the Diamondbacks. I mean, pick any of them. Yeah, I'll take any of them.
Can we get Corbin Carroll? That'd be great.
Yeah. I doubt that one unless the Diamondbacks want to just blow it completely up. I mean, even look, Ketel Marte would be a great pickup. I mean, he's got outfield experience. I don't know if they would do that though.
Yeah, I was like wondering, like, would the Yankees like take some contract and get rid of Giancarlo Stanton since he hasn't played yet this year? Would they be willing to send him our way for just so he can come hit like 18 home runs for the year and we don't have to pay him 35 million?
18 home runs. Dude would hit 118 home runs at Great American Ballpark. He's
I've seen,
just not allowed to do anything else.
yeah, I'm literally looking. So again, this shows like how little I have paying attention to other than like the Reds. Had no idea he has not played yet this year.
So much money. What is it, 27 mil?
Dude, he's making, so I'm looking at his contract right now. And this is totally just way out of proportion. So this year he's making 32 mil. Last year, the last couple years he's made 32 million a year. Next year he makes 29, and then his last 2 years of his deal at the Yankees he makes 25 and 25. And Miami is paying Miami's paying 10 mil of that each year.
Jesus. It's incredible that they're paying $10 million for a player that hasn't played for them in almost 10 years now. What was it, 2017, 2018?
2017 was his last, yeah, his MVP, the year he robbed an MVP from Joey.
Yeah.
His last year with Miami.
So almost 10 years, still paying $10 million. And I don't think there's a single person on their roster making $10 million.
I doubt it. Yeah, I totally doubt it.
Yeah. Well, that's all the viewer mail I had. Tim, is there anything else you want to kind of get off of your chest while we're together and talking Reds? Promote anything you got going on. Let the people know what you got.
Well, it's always fun to be able to come back here and do some shows with you guys. This is home. Even if I'm not here anymore consistently, this is still home. So anytime that you or Seth or anyone asks if I can come give you a half hour of my time and I'm available, I'm for sure going to do it. So very, very fortunate. Very much appreciate everything that you guys are doing. Glad to see it's still going. Really loving what you and Ben are doing. So yeah, man, it's fun to listen to.
Awesome. Yeah, and for anybody that wants to keep checking Tim out, he goes on every day after the Reds game over on Locked On Reds. Always fun to have you here. Always fun to talk with you.
Hey, before we get out of here, there
yeah.
actually is someone on the Marlins making more than $10 million.
Jesus Sanchez.
No, he's making 4.5. Sandy Alcantara is making 17.3.
Oh, well, that's different because he's got arbitration behind him.
Yeah, he's going to get traded at the deadline anyway, so.
Cool. So, before we do get out of here, I want to let everybody know this Sunday, Ben and I, we want to hear from you guys. We're going to put a link out. We want you guys to call in like an old school radio call-in show. Give us your questions. Give us your takes. You don't have to be on camera if you don't want to be on camera. You can use a pen name or a fake name if you don't want your coworkers or anybody to know that you're on the show. But we want to get up once you come on with us. We want you to talk with us and join in the conversation. So for that, he's Tim Daniel. I'm Skylar Wuebker. Have a good night, everyone.